Humanity has always dreamed of the emergence of a perpetual motion machine that would solve many problems, but until now, we can only dream of such a machine. Let us discover that. Attempts have been made to create a perpetual motion machine since ancient times, but few inventors have been able to come close to creating such a machine. It is believed that many experts say that the first perpetual motion machine in the world was invented by the Soviet scientist Norby Julia. I am talking about his excellent wheel. You have all seen this wheel, at least once in your life. Many of you have a balance wheel in your hand. Yes, I am talking about the wristwatch element. You can also see a balance wheel on the crankshaft of a car or in the movie Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. You remember that scene with the time turner? Basically, this thing is a wheel, a spinner capable of continuing to spin for a long period of time after being spun. It is similar to any other wheel, but more advanced in working principles. In 1964, Julia proposed the design of an amazing balance wheel that could be placed in a vacuum casing or on magnetic suspensions. All of this was necessary to reduce the loss of frictional energy during the rotation of the device. The Soviet scientist invented several types of balance wheels whose efficiency reaches 98% and made a wheel. The counterweight is a perpetual motion machine, and none of the existing engines at that time had such efficiency. They could be operated directly from this electric motor, which made the engine self-sufficient. Scientists believe that the modern version of the Julia engine will be able to provide a passenger car with a range of 2 million kilometers, meaning that it will be possible to make a trip around the world along the equator 50 times in a row. If transoceanic roads are built, of course. Julia's invention was not that great, but it was making amazing progress at the time. The Soviet World Stabilizing Lab surpassed all existing batteries at that time. It also passed many tests and was even proven in some cars. It seems that the Soviet Union possesses a unique device capable of becoming a sensation and raising the country's industry to a new level, in addition to reducing costs and not harming the environment. It is an ideal device, and yet it did not receive the right support, even though Julia's invention was a breakthrough. It wasn't unique. There have been other attempts in history to create a perpetual motion machine. How did it end? Has anyone else been able to come close to creating a machine that runs forever? There's a touch of a wheel. Beesler. It was possible to create a perpetual motion machine as early as the beginning of the 8th century, thanks to Johann Bessler, the Saxon doctor and engineer. The wheel rotated on a thick axis. After the wheel was started, it was locked in a room and examined. 2 weeks later, the wheel was still rotating, and after another 2 months, it did not stop. At that point, Beesler became well known in Europe. This caused him paranoia. He did not want to reveal secrets and hid them carefully. He agreed to reveal it in exchange for huge sums of money. Beesler destroyed the wheel when one of the engineers approached it to examine it. Cox's watch. James Cox went down in history as a goldsmith in London and is also known as the watchmaker who invented something like a perpetual motion machine. Cox's watch was invented in the year 174. He said that the engine of his watch was powered by diamonds, and because of the low internal friction that was almost non-existent, the watch's materials would degrade much more slowly than we expect. Also, the watch did not need manual winding. Simply put, we can say that it runs forever. The clock was powered by changes in atmospheric pressure. If the mercury column rose or fell inside the barometer, the movement of the mercury would turn the internal wheels in the same direction. If the clock was wound continuously, the gears would come out of their slots until the chain slackened. Until a certain point after that, the clock would set again. The carbine battery was invented in the 1950s by the Romanian engineer Nicolae Va. Oscilloscope is an amazing battery. The reason it is like this is because it still works today. Scientists do not understand how the single voltage battery that Karpin invented about 70 years ago is still working and producing a stable voltage. Many scientists believe that once it becomes clear exactly how this battery works and what the principles behind it are, we would be able to create a complete perpetual motion machine. Flood's water wheel. Half scientist, half chemist, Robert Flood invented various things in the last 2 centuries. One of his inventions is the water wheel, which is constantly moving and can grind grains by constantly rotating under the influence of recirculating water. The first woodcuts depicting this idea appeared in 1660 after Flood's death. Scientists believe that the device itself did not work completely. Also, Robert Flood's drawings are considered among the first designs for a perpetual motion machine. Theoretically, if we work on it today, we will be able to create an analog of the water wheel that will run forever and always. In fact, science believes that it is impossible to create a perfect perpetual motion machine because its operation would defy the laws of physics, but many theorists do not agree with this. As you can see, many scientists have come as close as possible to creating something similar to a perpetual motion machine, so why deviate like this? These projects are not realized until the end. Theorists believe that they are banned everywhere for various reasons. Finally, I will share with you some wonderful technologies that have been banned. In orgone energy, about 90 years ago, the scientist William Reich proposed the theory of orgone energy. As a psychoanalyst, he discovered that this energy is characterized by its blue color. The bottom line is that the ability to control the flows and extract this energy can completely change our world because this source of energy is the essence of all natural processes existing in the world. This device consists of the massive energy of orgone and metal with the alternating action of the layers. The scientist believes that such a compound can attract energy from space and accumulate its flows. Orgone energy has been studied in detail. He wrote many books about it and created a good number of complexes that attract energy. Experiments were conducted on energy management, but all of this stopped after alternative medicine doctors began to be persecuted through a legal court. The scientist was prevented from working and ordered the destruction of all orgone energy materials. Nuclear energy home. We associate nuclear energy with something bad, and major disasters are the reason. You all know about the Chernobyl and Fukushima disasters, but this energy has enormous potential. With the ability to use nuclear energy, entire communities can obtain electricity for a long time. When this technology was about to reach the market, investors lost interest and all plans were lost. At the same time, this technology could have improved the world. Home nuclear facilities located under a small roof in the center of the city can become the power center for the entire neighborhood, providing energy to many neighborhoods. Such a station will provide endless electricity and save a lot of money.
That's all, guys. What other banned technologies have you learned about? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you later.